This is the levee here in Meridosha along the tree line. You can see the sandbags on top of it. All that water on this side of the levee, that water's on the wrong side of the levee. Like you said, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker calling this some of the worst flooding in the state, where you can see the water has overtaken this roadway here. The water also surrounding homes. Some of this water getting inside homes as well. It's spread out across this entire yard. And we also talked with local fire crews here, and they say that the homeowner here, he is okay. He was inside when this happened, actually in this front room. That's the kitchen right there. He was right inside when this happened a few hours ago, when that first round of storms came through this area. When you drive by, you see the boarded up doors. There's just glass everywhere on the ground. That's from busted out windows like this one here. The city says they're not quite ready to demolish this building, but residents say they are tired of waiting for something to be done. On this lot just yesterday, there was a home standing here, but it was falling apart. It was burnt out, and thanks to equipment like this here, it is now just a pile of rubble. Crews got this far today, and neighbors say this work could not have come soon enough. Dylan and Alexandra, there is optimism on this campus after President Thomas made that announcement inside Brophy Hall. Employees of WIU say they are looking towards the future. Alexandra, Congressman Darren LaHood came to this levee. It's just across the river from Florence, Illinois. And here they talked about different ways to fight the high waters instead of having crews sandbag every time it floods. Residents say that the real work begins when these waters go down and that cleanup begins. You can see this roadway open right now, one lane in each direction. IDOT crews standing by. They're going to reassess this situation at about 10:30 this evening and then determine whether or not they'll close Highway 57 here on Gardner Expressway. Alexandra, Dillon, some of those workouts, some of those camps were supposed to take place here at Pepsi Arena on the campus of Quincy University, but those victims say they never took place, and now they're out hundreds of dollars each. Kendall Owen says she signed her young son Keegan up for a Joel Box basketball camp in February. But now, months later, she says she has yet to meet him because he keeps canceling.
Keegan was very excited to start. He was telling his teacher at school about it, his friends, and we just got nothing out of it.
Nicole Haynes has a similar story. She bought a camp on a Black Friday sale Box had, but once it came time for one of those workouts, Box came up with another excuse week after week.
Very frustrating. It was it was my son's Christmas gift. We spend so much on our kids for Christmas, and that was one of his Christmas gifts, so he was out.
Box declined to go on camera, but in a phone interview, he says he still plans to hold those workouts.
I have every intention to come back down there to, to run my, 6-week, 8-week academy, whatever that is, several times a week for the parents that have signed up.
Box says he has always had a no refund policy, and that's why Owen and Haynes have not gotten their money back.
I have told people that have asked for refunds, like I do have a policy with my stuff that if there's a no refund policy.
Meanwhile, Haynes is out $350. Owen was taken for $585. They say they're just two examples of this scam, and they hope no one else falls victim.
We actually knew some people that went to his camps, and he was a great guy. He was all about kids and all this stuff, and then this, and it's a bummer because a lot of kids looked up to him.
Meanwhile, Illinois Assistant State's Attorney Josh Jones says there is no open investigation currently against Box. Live in Quincy, Brett Knese, WGEM News. The mighty Mississippi River has not been kind to LaGrange resident Daniel Rue. Water has flooded his home multiple times just this year.
It's tiring, I didn't want to have to move the bikes and cars to the park again and load guitars in case I had to peel out. But, got to do what we got to do.
In March, Rue's home looked like this. Only a few inches of water reached his garage, but the water would rise. At the beginning of May, the water was only a few inches from reaching his main floor. Less than 2 weeks later, the water receded. It left behind inches of thick mud and debris. Now, the water is once again threatening the main floor of his home. Rue says he's constantly checking the river level forecast in case he needs to evacuate.
You certainly watch it much more regularly when you're at flood stage. When it's down, you can kind of be more lackadaisical about watching it so much.
If the current forecast holds, he says he should be able to stay in his home, but he says he's ready for the river to go back down for good.
Without having the flood insurance, I mean, I'm praying desperately that it doesn't come up in my main floor.